Something's coming out special for you.
What?
I don't know. He's coming. Don't worry. Anybody want a what's that called?
Chicken broth. Those ears?
Zombie? Who wants a zombie?
What?
Chief? You want a picture? Ask him if you get a picture of zombies. Ask the guy. Ask him.
It was like a sleepover, and so Monique was invited. What? It was like all the girls in my class, and then Monique. Yeah. And Monique had, she didn't keep, but she called Luca. Luca, she was Luca there, and he's like, Mom answering? She's like, no, it's at a basketball game.
Stay focused. Come on.
And so she goes, no, but he'll be back later, he's calling. So I'm sitting next to Monique. Goes, oh, it's Mary. Online, I was like, alright, I didn't call you, I just want to tell you that, you know. She called you, and he's like, oh, I don't really care. And he's like, I didn't think you called me. And he's like, I thought it was someone else. Well, I promise not to tell, but I guess no. Wait, sorry?
What's your prediction, Pat? Before the game, might be on TV tonight.
I'm gonna win by 60.
60, thank you. John Luca, what's your prediction? You might score a point.
I'm gonna win by 40. I'm gonna have 30. Pat's gonna have 25.
No, I'm gonna have 2.
You gotta beat last game's thing, Pat. You gotta.
future. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work on it. And to the fans, your fans are great too. I want to especially thank the STN fans. They got us here. The fabulous group of fans.
We made sure Pat got a roll. Casey has hers. You want to use hers?
Thanks very much. Our fourth grade girls team were coached by Sue Vitale, assisted by Sheila Aprisco and Tom Jost. I just want to tell you a real short story that'll give you an idea of what kind of coaching staff this is. And I say this from my own personal knowledge because my daughter's on this team. It was a few games ago, and one of the little girls had arrived late, 5 minutes before the game was going to start. I can't even remember which little girl it was, it doesn't matter. But she was very, very upset that she was late, and she was concerned that she wasn't going to be able to play or she wasn't ready. And the coaching staff, they got out their combs and brushes. They combed her hair and brushed her hair and did her ponytail and told her how much she was missed and how they were waiting for her to arrive. And that's the kind of team that I'm glad my daughter was on.
These are my assistant coaches, Sheila O'Frisco and Tom Jost. Tom is the uncle of one of the girls on the team, in case anybody was wondering. And Sheila, of course, is another mom. But they were wonderful assistants. They were there at every practice, every game. They were there at games that I couldn't be at, practices that I couldn't be at, and kept the book and did the ponytails and held the earrings and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate everything that they did. Thank you. Being stars someday. The truest thing I could say is that this team is a work in progress. Okay, now without any further gushing, I know I'm not Julia Roberts. Let me introduce our MBS rookies. Lauren Jost.
Harry, you know, he's soft-spoken, he's a leader, he's the kind of coach that kids want to play for. And he told me a story yesterday about a young boy on his team, I think he might be a 5th grader, who originally didn't want to be on his team early in the year because most of his friends were on Mr. Granatel's team. But anyway, Perry said, let's give it a try, and the young man stayed on his team and was very grateful. He told me that this boy made 2 baskets in one game. Although he wasn't the highest scorer on the team in this one particular game, he made 2 baskets in the 4th quarter, and it was a game that his team won by 3 points. So Perry gives credit to this young man for basically winning that game for his team. So Perry, why don't you come up and introduce your team?
We had a great year. Like Bob said, one of the best compliments I got at the end of the year was the St. Elizabeth's coach, who thought they were going to play us, said they didn't want any part of us. And we were the 7th seed and they were the 2 seed, and they said they didn't want any part of us. That was pretty complimentary, because usually the 7th seed is a layup for the 2 seed. We were, nobody wanted to play us. Our kids played hard and had a great year. Let me introduce you to them.
The way I'm going to introduce our last coach, I'm actually going to make a comment about 2 other coaches, which leads into it. In January, referees came up to me at a home game and said to me they wanted to talk to me about one of my coaches, and I was concerned. I thought that was negative. And the referee, who I've known for several years, said to me, I want you to know that your 4th grade boys team and their coaches are the best disciplined, the most courteous, and also, coincidentally, the most talented, and that they were a credit to MBS. And I said to him, I said, I'm going to quote you at our sports dinner, if you don't mind. He said, by all means. He said, I think it was his 90th game that he had refereed that year, and he said they were head and shoulders above everybody else. So that's a credit to Ron and Don and Mike and to the 4th grade boys. And that leads me into the other one, that being Joe Granatel. After that championship game, the St. E's coach came up to me and told me that, in his opinion, Joe is one of the classiest coaches in the league. And I feel that way. I think Joe exemplifies MBS sports. Despite what may have happened that last game, and I can assure you there's 2 sides to that story, Joe, and everybody knows that. And the final thing now, and this is how I introduce Hank Corsell. What they say to me at the league playoff meeting when we set the schedules is, when is that guy going to retire? I think he told me 38 years coaching at MBS. In the last 5 years, MBS has gone to the 7th and 8th grade boys championship 5 times. One time, 3 years ago, I was lucky enough to be an assistant coach to Tony Campbell. My son was at that team. And we made it to the championship game and lost. The other 4 times, Hank Corsell took his teams to the championship and won. So he's got 4 out of the last 5 7th and 8th grade boys championships, and now you know why they can't wait for him to retire. His team went 14-0 in the regular season and 3-0 in the playoffs. and they just totally dominated the league. He'll probably tell you there was a couple of games they only won by 2 or 3 points, but anyone who watched them saw that they were absolutely dominant. The hardest part, I think, about this undefeated season is keeping the kids motivated, because after a while they tend to think that, you know, this is easy and this just comes too easy. And he certainly was able to do that. The only problem, Coach Corsal, is that we're reaching the point where we expect this every year. It's almost automatic, but we're very proud this year. So come on up here, bring your assistant coach, Ed Bradley, and we have a huge trophy. You have given memories to these kids and to their parents that will last them a lifetime.
Mike, you want to come up? Where are you? Mike Flynn? I say this every year, you can't coach a basketball team by yourself. You have to have 2 or 3 other guys to do it. It's impossible to do it by yourself. And this year was Mr. Bradley and Mr. Flynn did a superb job in helping us in all our practices. Thank you, fellas. Everybody has said it, but I'm going to say it also. Thanks to Bob LaSalle, who did an excellent job this year, and Mrs. LaSalle. Mrs. LaSalle, I had practice on Saturdays in the morning, and she'd be down at gym 8 o'clock. She had to drive in, get out of bed, and I appreciate that, and the boys appreciate that, Carol. Thank you. 17-0 is an accomplishment, as the coach said. And you got to the point to keep the boys motivated. I was worried how they would take a defeat, and so I tried to prepare them for it. And I use little cliches like, you know what happens when we win a game? I go home and have meatballs and spaghetti and a glass of beer. You know what happens when we lose a game? I go home and have meatballs and spaghetti and a glass of beer. So life goes on, it's just a game. But that didn't fly too good. Then the NCAA started, the 64 teams. And I pointed out to them, in all the United States, they picked out the 64 best basketball teams in college. God knows how many hundreds of other colleges there are that didn't even make it. Out of the 64, 63 are going to lose. So think about that. North Carolina, Indiana, Kentucky. So if we lose, it's not such a big deal. I braced them for it. In the middle, about the 5th and 6th and 7th game, as Bob said, we won one game by 2 points, one game by 3 points, one game by 7 points. And I thought, you know, that they'd lose, but they didn't. They refused to lose. In the championship game, though, they gave me a lot of confidence. I knew they were going to win. I knew by them that they wouldn't let anybody take it away from them. No matter, every one of these boys stepped up for that championship game. They had to. They stepped up and produced. By the year's end, they all had improved one way or another. Yes, the 8th grade boys were big and strong, did most of the scoring and the rebounding. The 7th graders all improved in one way or another on defense, in speed, gaining confidence. And I love you guys, and I appreciate everything you did this year. Thank you. And another thing I pointed out to them, some parents talked to me after the game, and we had pizza, and told me how they noticed their boy improved in playing. And I said, I know that, and you know that, but I don't think they know that. But I can tell you for a fact that when we play other teams, the other team may have 2, 3 good hard ball players, but then they don't compare to our team. They don't compare to our team, because every one of our boys is practicing hard, in whatever category, they improve. And they improve in speed and defense, scoring, rebounding. All in all, I got to thank all of you. We had 25 practices, and it paid off. It paid off. So I want to thank the parents of these kids for having them, and thank everybody else for your support all year long. Thank you. Ed?
I think he said pretty much all he said, but I will tell you one little story about Hank. Maybe you have seen him lean over to me after he had yelled out to the boys, maybe go from a high post to a low post, or some other change in strategy. When that strategy worked, in a humble way, he used to go to me, "What a coach." So, and when it didn't work, I think he made the wrong choice. So, but I would like to just say, what a coach.
Mike? Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. I'd like to call you up one by one. I'm not going to elaborate how good or how bad I are. You're all good. You proved it. 17-0, guys. You'll be able to walk around in school the rest of the year and just savor that for next year. Christy Powell. Terry DiPiazza. Andrew Edwards. Mike Kantakis. George Kantakis. Brian Koppel. Ted O'Connell. Joshua Chapadero. Javier Ramos. Thaddeus Weber. I don't think he's here. Very instrumental in our championship. Rob Royce. Big Rob. George Mahalik. Dave Thompson. Gianluca Ragone.
You know, you're on top
Patrick
right now.
Flynn.
That's my brother.
Paul Girardi. These are MBS 7th and 8th grade boys champions. Thank you, boys. Thank you all.